Will Taylor. You know, whenever I think of Will Taylor, if I close my eyes and imagine Will Taylor, it's your tongue out with Where did that come from? Is that like the Dudley Boys WWE, or is that like the Scream character in like the scary movie?
It's those like it's that my first like introduction to it was like the they're on the it's like a TV ad and they're on the telephone. They just go what's that? But no, they would be like the Scream character. Yeah, definitely the Dudley Boys.
Mate, I remember there was like a 6-month patch where I really got to know you properly.
Yes.
Really got to know you properly, Willie T. Where I reckon you lived under the roof of my house more than I did.
Yeah. I was your unofficial housemate that just sort of you couldn't shake for 6 months.
You lived on the couch for a while, and because I work during the day and then at night I host my pub trivia. So I feel like I'd leave in the morning and, you know, bright and early to head to the factory and you're asleep on the couch. And then I get home after I finish my trivia and, you know, you're playing PlayStation with the lads. And I'm there going, you know what, you can just have my bedroom. I'll have the couch. I feel like you need it more than I do.
No, it was good fun. I mean, I didn't like anticipate to come up and go, you know what, fuck it, I'll sleep on the couch for 6 months. But it was a lot of fun. But yeah, very thankful that you boys were very welcoming to me in that 6 month period.
Mate, the more the merrier as far as I'm concerned. We're all in the trenches together.
Exactly.
Out in Richmond. Mate, we were just having a chat before the cameras were rolling and I told you to shut the hell up because you piqued my intrigue and I feel the beautiful people at home may want to hear about it. What's this? You're heading up to Geelong after this?
Yeah, well, I was telling you off air, I'm ambassador for Run Geelong. Well, Run for Geelong as it's now known, which is it's like a little like you can do a 1K, a 3K, 5K or like a 10K run.
You'd be doing the 10?
Yeah, I'll be leading the pack, mate. And it's all the money that's raised from that event goes to the Bowen Health Foundation in Geelong. So Bowen Health, they've got hospitals down there, looking after a lot of sick kids. So yeah, it's good to do something for the old Geelong community.
Mate, good on you. It's important to remember where you came from, embrace your roots. That's sensational. Have they ever had any other big names involved?
Oh, jeez. Some of the smaller names were, you know, Joel Selwood. You ever heard of
Selwood?
Yeah, he used to play around with the pigskin and
is he the carpenter? Sells wood? Yeah. Is that him?
And they've had a few. They would have had a few other Geelong footballers, but Joel Selwood, he volunteers most years, so to be up on the same sort of echelon as him is pretty special.
Well, clearly the foundation is absolutely pumping for them to, you know, a few years ago have Joel Selwood and now be able to really step up the budget to get Will Taylor involved. Like, clearly they're flying.
I would have loved to be a fly on the wall in that board meeting where they're like, guys, we've scrapped Joel Selwood's contract. And we've got Will Taylor. I must preface though, I'm not making any money off it. It's all for the charity, all for the foundation. So.
He's not making any money. Wink. No.
Gee whiz.
Tell you what, I am making money at the moment, not just through.
I'm making a bank.
not just through my little factory job that pays minimum sort of hourly rates. But because I'm currently house sitting my mum's joint.
Yeah.
She's gone to the Philippines, back to the promised land, the homeland for a little bit.
So how long she gone back there for?
Couple months.
Okay.
Right. But I'm only house sitting for a couple weeks.
Okay. Well, that's all right then.
2 weeks. But I'll tell you what, it might be the longest 2 weeks of my life.
Tell me why. Why is 2 weeks feeling like a lifetime?
She lives in a little shoebox apartment in Carlton.
Yeah.
Beautiful. She has a little lap dog, Mishka, is a little white fluffy dog, and also has a little white fluffy cat, Snowy. Okay. Now, Snowy, what do you think cats normally eat? What food would cats eat?
So, white fluffy dog is Snowy, or the white fluffy cat is Snowy?
The cat's Snowy, the dog's Mishka.
Okay. I reckon Snowy probably eats, you know, the Whiskers packets with
cat food.
Yeah, jelly and the little bits and pieces.
You think the cat eats cat food?
Yeah.
So did I, because I filled up its food bowl full of cat food, didn't touch it for 24 hours.
Oh, no.
No. The fucking cat's going to starve and it's going to be all on me.
The cat's going malnourished.
So then I thought, all right, well, I'm not going to put any more Whiskers in there because I don't want the cat to die. So I chucked in just some mince and rice, what I had that night for dinner.
Yeah.
Right? Wouldn't touch it.
Oh, dear.
So now 48 hours have gone past, the cat hasn't eaten. I go, well, I have to ring mum. Alarm bells are ringing.
Yeah.
I ring mum and I go, mate, Zoe won't eat. And she goes, oh, she can get fussy sometimes. You have to go get her charcoal chicken. Oh,
Charcoal chicken.
she only eats charcoal chook. So I've walked down to the shops, right? It hasn't eaten for 48 hours. And it still has its 2 whole bowls of food there. I go and get a charcoal chook. I take off the chicken breast because that's the best part.
Yeah.
Put it in the bowl. Smashes it in under 45 seconds.
A charcoal chicken. And it's not like, does it have to be from a certain spot?
Well, I gave it the breast,
Yeah.
because the breast is my favourite spot,
Yeah.
both the chicken and the and the
Like
human anatomy.
Yeah, human anatomy.
Yeah.
God.
Sorry, Connor. I think he was asking, is it a certain
Like a
spot
certain
that you
chook
buy the
shop? Is it
chicken
like,
from?
right.
Is it like Charcoal Charlie's, or like, can you just get like a rotisserie chook from Woolies or
No,
something?
to be fair, I did go to Woolies, so it's not pompous enough where it needs to be from, the deluxe charcoal chicken shop. But no, I went from Woolies, got it the chicken breast, and it devoured it. So, would there be another cat in Australia that's above cat food?
I know cats are can be fussy, but it's usually just add some dry food, little bit of wet food on top, mix it in, and then they'll be right.
Well, the food is one thing, and then you'd think you'd give it some water. You think you're not just a cat, any living being.
Oh, no, don't tell me you're feeding a Gatorade.
Any living being you think would be pretty happy with water.
Yeah.
So I chuck water in its bowl, doesn't want to touch it. And I've gone, mate, you need a drink. I ring mum, the cat's not drinking water. She goes, you need to put it in the water fountain.
Oh my God.
She has a motorised water fountain where you got to charge it, you put it on top of the bowl, and then it spits out water. And I said, Mum, why does it need a water fountain? And she goes, because it helps with its anxiety. Like, cats don't have anxiety.
So this cat eats chicken, needs a bloody machine to spit its water out, and then it's all anxious for some weird reason.
Yeah, It's It's anxious because it's had everything given to it on a silver spoon.
Yeah.
It doesn't know what the real world's like.
Tell me the dog's a little bit easier.
Nah, the dog. But to be fair, the dog in dog years is like 90-ish years old. So, starting to slow down a lot. He's just happy to be able to open his eyes up. He's not fussed about what he's eating. He's just, every day's a blessing for him, never mind fucking chicken breast or whatever. What, Wilbur?
Tell me, Rog.
I hope this isn't a backhanded compliment, and I hope it's just a compliment.
Absolutely.
But obviously we're spending a bit more time together.
Yeah.
Years have gone by. My mates from school, maybe a few years ago, we might have had one odd video together. Now we're spending a heap of time together.
Yeah.
And what I'll get told now, some feedback, is my mates will go, mate, Will Taylor's content? It's really funny now.
Oh, that's awesome.
How good is that?
Great. That's great to hear.
Have you felt your content, as you've got, because you started when you were, relatively young, have you felt yourself sort of grow along the way and taken a second to recognise how much you've improved?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I feel like in the last couple of years I have, especially with the fact that not only I can stem away from your natural sort of footy and cricket skits, and I can sort of interpret like a little bit of the 23-year-old male of like having a few Tinder date fuck ups, or having like the guy from the Hinge of Hell date.
Yeah.
And I feel like not only is that like improved my content, but it's also reaching a wider audience as well. Like it's funnier to see like chicks commenting like stuff like, this gives me the ick and everything. And I'm like, yeah, because that's what the content's supposed to do. And I feel like as I've peeled more and more of the layers back, it's like I'm more than happy to take the piss out of myself.
Great.
Like I'm not sort of worrying about what Joe Blow's typing on his keyboard in a dark, dingy basement. And like I can just sort of have a bit of fun with it. So it's good to know that people are enjoying the content.
Everyone's loving it.
Yeah.
Everyone's loving it. Was it like a conscious decision where you went from one day, oh, you know what, I'm not just going to be like, not that there's anything wrong with just being the cricket or the footy skit guy, but where you thought you'd do a bit more about sort of the lifestyle of Willie T?
Yeah, well, I sort of thought a bit more like I'm already putting so much in front of a camera, like what's a bit more of like a exaggerated personality or exaggerated sort of build up to the videos. So there's like a different niche of videos I did over the summer was like doing like rave dances for like cricket and tennis moves and everything. And that was brought. He'll kill me if I don't give him a plug. Vinny brought that up. He brought that up on a couch one day because he was going to a rave, and then he goes, "Mate, you can definitely make a video out of this." And then the next day, I just sort of put pen to paper and did a bit of work. And so without getting too much off topic, it's sort of like exaggerating the personality that I already had on in front of the camera and just like timesing it by 10 a little bit more. And
you know what made that so funny when I saw like your rave cricket dance, right? Is we have Everything Man Dan behind the camera, right? He actually does everything, which is why he's the Everything Man Dan.
Everything Man Dan.
And his brother, my long-term best friend, Michael, we went to a rave once and he started doing, apologies for the listeners because you won't be able to see this, but he started doing this, right? And I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm doing the Steve Smith. And we go at a rave doing, fidgeting with everything. And I see your video, I go, oh, that's so relatable, so hilarious. So it's funny, like, what you make is just so relatable for any 20-year-old bloke or bloke in their 20s that just loves this sport.
Yeah, it was awesome because I did it just at the right time before BTV.
Yeah.
And I was getting heaps of videos of people at BTV pulling out like they're pulling out like the fours and like doing it was so funny.
Does that ever bend your mind? Like the actual reach and the influence where there are people at a music festival, like the highlight of their entire year, certainly when I went to Beyond the Valley when, a bit younger, highlight of my year. And there are people there in that moment replicating the Will Taylor.
It's like, it's the biggest pinch me moment ever, Rog. Like, the fact that people are out there doing dance moves and going, oh, that's the Will Taylor one. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, that's so, like, it's gives me like tingles in like a way that I've never felt. Dan, sorry, I've looked at you just right in the eyes as I've said.
I'm pretty sure there's a 24/7 massage parlor 3 doors down if you want to really work that tingle over. And,
you've said much worse things to me on a Saturday morning before.
Yeah. Uncaffeinated me is quite ropey.
Why do you think you resonate with so many people? We went for Froyo last night with Jared Davis and Bailey McCabe, and I don't know if you noticed it, but it felt like every second person walking by the front window was looking and having a laugh and looking in and going, clearly, I don't think they were saying there's Bailey McCabe. I think no offense,
no, that's good.
I'm pretty sure they were saying there's Will Taylor. So what actually is it, do you reckon? I mean, I could answer the question myself, but why do you reckon Will Taylor resonates with the audience?
Well, I feel like I can sort of stick out like a bit of like a sore thumb. Like I've got a bit of a porno mustache. I'm a bit pudgier than some of the other boys. And like the fact that I'm not. Well, I stand out my own way, but I feel like I've got such a boisterous character on screen, and I can be. There are times where I can be like obviously a bit quieter, but I feel like around you boys, I get so comfortable. I can be a sort of a boisterous sort of like personality and. I don't know. It's easily attractable to people who see my content.
I agree with everything you said except for, I reckon if I was to click onto a porno and they had your mustache, I'd be clicking right off. I'd be going back to the homepage and just seeing what other videos there are on the agenda. What was your first video? Because I think that's not porn, not porn, not of the X-rated variety.
Haven't reached that one yet. So not there.
What was the first video that you created? Because it's crazy to think where you are now and who you're working with and what you're doing. But once upon a time, there was just a bloke with a camera, probably has no idea what he was doing, and just thought, fuck it, I'll record this and put it out there.
Quite literally. And it all started, I was on a lunch break at a post office I was working at. I was working for one of my high school mates' mums. She was a lovely lady. I went home for my lunch break. And
How old were you, sorry?
I would have been 20.
Right.
So I was like sort of just trying to make a bit of money, just get through. I didn't know what I was doing with myself. And I thought, fuck, these footy TikToks are popping up on my feed heaps. Like, this would be really funny if I could make a video similar to this. So I put on a footy spray jacket and sort of imitated imitated a coach, and then got played a different character where I was an assistant coach, just saying the exact same stuff as what the main coach was saying. Posted that, not thinking anything of it, and then went back to work. My phone just was blowing up. I'm like, what on earth is happening? Like, I'm not getting a phone call. Like, no one calls me. And then I'm checking my phone, and like after a couple of hours, there was about 33,000 people that had seen a video of me in front of a green screen pretending to be a footy coach.
Unreal. 33,000, like, let's not sleep on that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that is more people that you get to a fucking North Melbourne game.
Yeah, North Melbourne combined.
Yeah.
For some regards. And it's, I was sort of like, wow, like, if I could sort of keep up this sort of persona or this character, more people might be interested in it. And I, like, as a kid, I'd always, like, as a little kid, I always enjoyed being the center of attention. And then as I got through high school, I just sort of liked being like the gag man and like a bit of the class clown. And then for that to sort of all come together and make that video just out of the blue, God knows where I would have been if I didn't do that. I definitely wouldn't be talking to you, Roger.
No, not at all. No, you're probably working in the factory with me.
I'd still be watching you on YouTube thinking, fuck, that Dossie and Roger bloke, they've got it worked out.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad that you did pull the trigger on making the video. But was there any hesitancy, you know, or obviously putting yourself out there like that, you are subject to at times criticism. Was there any hesitancy, or would you just back yourself the whole way?
Well, I backed myself the whole way because I think TikTok was a getaway from my personal life. So back then I used to really separate my life through Instagram and TikTok, and just used to make everything on TikTok. And I used to just sort of make that my getaway character and sort of exaggerate my personality a little bit. But then I'm
curious by that. When you say the getaway character, is that because you're being a louder and more vibrant character that perhaps you want to be in the real world, or?
Yeah, well, at that time I didn't want to cross my digital, my content creating character with my personal life, because then I wasn't sure. I was a little bit unsure what my friends would think, and I thought I'd be like, oh, if I start doing this stuff, my mates might think it's cringe. Like, people around the footy club may just take the piss out of me. Yeah. But the support and everything, once I got a few more videos, doing all right. The support I got from everyone was enormous, and it was Caden who actually, when I sat down with him, once or twice, I said, mate, what do I do? I want to have a personal life, but I also want to have this. I also want to expand my brand. And Caden's like, mate, just put all chips in, go all in. And then as soon as I did that, I never looked back.
Great, man.
Yeah.
Great, man. Well, I'm stoked for you. I'm stoked that it worked out so much. You know, it's funny, when you think about your first video, you know, getting 30,000 views, that's a massive effort. I wonder if you did your first video and it got 15 views, if you'd still be doing what you're doing now. Do you think that this was a passion that you always would have driven yourself towards, or was it more you got lucky at the start, so to speak, and that's propelled you to where you are now?
Yeah, I don't. Geez, I'd love to know what I would have done if it didn't sort of kick off. I feel like when I was at the post office, it was sort of I was in the same circle of just going to work, coming home, going to football.
I don't see you as a postie at all.
No.
I feel like when I go to the post office, everyone there looks like they should work at the post office.
I'll tell you what, I was eye candy for a lot of the old ladies.
Oh, I bet you were.
They enjoyed coming down on their Wednesdays, getting their pension out, and seeing young 20-year-old Will Taylor behind the counter.
Imagine them giving you the eye contact as they're licking the postage stamp.
It was it all sort of, I was in and out of jobs and just sort of in the same cycle. So I don't know if I would have kept chasing it to sort of break out of the normal mold. But that's a really good question, actually.
Do you think you were more passionate about sport or flexing your creative muscle to want to make TikToks about the footy and cricket and whatnot? Was there a creative muscle bubbling inside of you that you needed to flex?
I think it was a creative muscle because even before doing like content, I had a crack at podcasting, and that would have been at about, the COVID period where everyone sort of kicked off a pod.
Imagine starting a podcast. You'd have to be a fucking loser.
Yeah, you'd have to be an idiot. If you want to click the Monday Magnets pod. So I started a podcast from my dining room table.
What was that called?
It was called Plenty of Tales. So it was a play on words from my nickname, obviously being Tails, and then trying to get guests on so they could tell stories. And like
I thought you were going to say it's like a coin flip game, and I was going to say I would have preferred the name Plenty of Heads.
Well, that's a good title for a few videos.
Yeah,
and that was just sort of like a portfolio builder for me, just because watching so.
What were you doing on the pod?
I was just like literally, I'd just wheel in like any of my mates and like just chat to me for like 20, 30 minutes, and like we can chat about some things in the news. We can chat about like some red flags or some icks or something you saw the other day. But like genuinely was just chatting with people. I chatted with like one footballer. So Jai Clark, who plays for Geelong, he's sort of in and out of the senior side at the moment. But yeah, I got him on and I thought, this is great for me. Like I'm now interviewing players. Like, this could be something. But then work and my social life sort of got ahead of me, and never really went back down that path. So
it's all worked out for you.
Now I'm very blessed to be in the position that I am to now do a podcast with two of my best mates, and it's awesome.
What is like the biggest pinch yourself moment that you've had so far? Because you are on the Monday Magnets, a podcast that looks sensational, sounds sensational, is so visible to people that enjoy football. It's not like, Plenty of Tales, where I'm sure, not many people might have seen it.
Yeah.
But you're doing that, it's under Tom Mitchell's brand. You're doing work with Dill Buckley. You're floating around with all these biggest names in the industry. Was there actually a moment where you went from, hey, I'm just this bloke doing skits on TikTok, to, fuck, I'm actually in it?
It was the first time I got invited to a Ball Magnets event where I walk into Rod Laver Arena, and it was celebrating the Josh Giddey partnership for Ball Magnets. I walk in, I see you and Dossie making content straight away. I'm like, fuck, like this is nuts. Like this is so
crazy.
Cool. Paddy Cripps and Titch both walk up to me and like shake my hand and introduce themselves, and I'm like, what is happening? And like I was still sort of new to like meeting Bailey, so Bailey just threw the invite out, said, look mate, would love you to come down, film what you can. And the only sort of person that I had like a strong connection with was, I had a little bit of one with Dossie, but I had a really strong one with Jared Davis,
right?
Because we were both just like awkward, like mid-20s, young 20s kids, like not knowing what we were doing.
It's unbelievable to have watched, and we've grown together because it's not like I was, or I'm still not even now, just a complete human. But I feel back then when I did first meet you, and especially Jarrah, I remember meeting Jarrah and thinking, he's awkward as hell. Yeah. Like, I can't believe where he is now. Like, he's such a confident, well-presented fella.
Yeah.
But to watch both of you and grow has been unbelievable.
Yeah, and it was like, I was so like bamboozled by the situation, and then for like the Shep mates to be there, and like the fact that we were just all like-minded people, all wanting to achieve the same thing. And the one thing that I love about like our group, like all of us that play footy together, all of us that are in like the sports media sort of sector, is we're not trying to pip each other. We're all just trying to bring each other for the ride and just enjoy like this period of time together.
It's easy to have that lost on us because it came so naturally.
Yeah.
It's not like we were grappling with, you know what, even though I want to hold these blokes down, fuck it, it's probably the right thing to lift them up. We were all just over the whole time been on the same page of just everyone lifting each other up together.
Yeah.
And you can't take for granted that maybe if it was a different set of people, perhaps there would have been a bit more unhealthy competitiveness.
Yeah. And like, it was so cool to see where we all came from, and then like the fact that it was sort of we all just grew together and sort of ended up in the right spot at the right time.
Did you have a vision when you first started of what you wanted to become? How good's that? The fresh Diet Coke. You only get the best service here on the Rog Pod.
That is unreal.
I'll tell you what, you don't get that on Monday Magnets.
Baz isn't filling up my cup with anything on a Monday morning. But
did you have a vision of what you wanted to become? And is it constantly evolving? Because I imagine if when you first uploaded a video, to see where you are now would have felt like a million miles away. It would have been like, you're kidding me, umpire.
Yeah.
But now you are where you are. Is there an eyeball on maybe going mainstream and having a show on a network? Like, where were you at the start, and how has it shifted?
It started off with throughout high school, and I've said this on a podcast before, but I always idolised what Dill Buckley did. I thought, fuck, it's so cool interviewing sports players, like having a good laugh with them and everything, and I thought that was the coolest thing since sliced bread. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, I'd love to do that. Now that I've been working with him, now that I've sort of seen how it all unfolds and everything, I still want to keep doing that because it's so, like, I've had so much fun, especially the last couple of years, taking it a bit more seriously and doing it more full time, going to the Brownlow, going to the AFL like MVP awards, and building a bit more of a relationship with some of the players and building their trust. I do want to go mainstream. Like I think the idea for me is to definitely try and get into TV, a bit more sports as well, but not just footy and cricket. Like I want to take on some other sports as well. So I've been starting to take a bit more notice of like rugby,
really,
basketball, and a little bit of baseball as well. I don't know why, but I feel like the translation of cricket into baseball is just so easy.
Pretty seamless.
Yeah. It's like I've just started watching it a bit more and consuming that.
I think it's the right idea, man. I remember when I was in high school, year 10 media, I think I was in, and my media teacher at the time, Mr. Hemsley, we got on like a house on fire. And he said, mate, you know, I can tell that you're passionate about the media. He said, I used to work at SCN. Can get you some work experience here if you want. I thought, mate, how good's that? So I went in with a presenter that he was good mates with. His name's Brett Phillips.
Yeah, right.
Brett Phillips is the tennis expert at SCN.
Yeah.
And I asked, of course, I'm picking his brain for advice. He has a show called The First Serve, still does it now. He's at every Grand Slam, all the rest of it. And he said, mate, the best thing you can do is diversify what you're into. If you're just into footy, it's such a competitive market. But if you find other sports that you love, it'll make it a bit easier for you. So I think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, well, I always looked up to like Mark Howard's sort of journey, how he started from like just sort of a camera hand at the F1, and then he just sort of, as opportunities came up, he just sort of had a crack and just went with the flow. Like he would learn on the job and would just take anything that sort of came in his way. And I feel like if I can start doing a bit more of that, like I can definitely grow as an individual.
You know what I think you've got in your favour, without a doubt, is that you are such an identifiable, relatable personality, if you know what I mean.
Jeez,
like,
that warms the heart.
No, but you are, because you're the I've played in the twos my whole life. You're a pure Div 12 Resi. You just love your sport, love a good time with the lads. And I think the moment people see you and hear you, they know exactly who you are, and they all have a mate like that, if not themselves. So, man, I really do believe that sky's the limit, because the hardest bit, I think, who am I to say, but the hardest bit about nailing a gig in the media or in any presenting role is knowing who you are. And I feel like you know exactly who you are.
Oh, appreciate it, Roger. Yeah. Fuck, that's good. That's feel good moment.
Yeah, and people know who you are.
Yeah.
When my mates have told me, Will Taylor, his content's really picking up, and mate, it is. It's bloody hilarious. One bit of content that I did get a few messages about was the piece Marnie Vinyl wrote about you for ABC.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Oh, it was unreal. And Marnie's one of the, I think in the industry, she's one of the best. She might not get a lot of the accolades and credit that she deserves, but she deserves the world. She's right up there as one of the best journos.
And obviously, the article, well, not obviously for those that haven't read it or come across it, but the article was all about breaking down barriers for mental health.
Yeah.
And it surprised a lot of people, myself included, because it's not something that we'd ever talked about beforehand. And people, this is a tale as old as time, really, but people will say, and I thought it myself, such a fun and funny character, having mental health battles. It's, I suppose it shouldn't be a surprise because we're so aware of it now, but, it caught me off guard. How are you going? And talk me through your battle with mental health and why it's so important to you now.
Yeah, well, the reason I got into, obviously caring so much about mental health was I lost my father to suicide when I was just 10 years of age, and at the time I was a little bit confused as to why it all happened, because he was sort of the character that I am now. He was always putting his hand up to be in everything, was trying to always make people laugh, be the positive one. He loved people, loved getting out and socialising, and he was always, throughout my junior life, I always had Dad as my coach, and that was some of the best fun I ever had as a kid. And then going through high school, I sort of started to learn a bit more about mental health and understand the psychology behind mental illnesses and everything. So when I left high school, I sort of wanted to make sure that it didn't stop in high school. Was very lucky to have some teachers who were a part of Movember, had a team at high school. I think throughout the couple of years that I've been doing Movember, I've raised around about $16,000 for Movember.
Incredible, mate. Well done.
Appreciate it, Roger. I've got a tattoo on my leg of the logo. Fucking hurt like a bitch, but
is that the only tattoo you've got?
That's the only tattoo I've
Great.
got, and I'm proud to say it hurt like a bitch, even though it was even though it's so small. But and I feel like as exciting as it was, my life sort of going from Geelong to Melbourne, and my life completely changing from just doing part-time jobs to becoming a full-time content creator. I felt like it was hard for everything to catch up to me, and I felt a little bit like I'm lost in this big city. I'm lost in this industry. I don't really belong here, and I see everyone doing stuff, and absolutely I love bringing them up and celebrating what all my mates do and everything. But at the same time, I felt like, fuck, if they're doing that, what am I supposed to be doing? In the last sort of, especially throughout the colder months, it's you sit there, you twiddle your thumbs. There's times you just don't want to get out of bed. I get in my own head about so much stuff. Throughout high school, I was really sort of battling with friendships, and not with making friends or anything. I had heaps and heaps of mates, but it was more who could I call my best mate. And I've sort of had that issue as well the last couple of years. And I play it over in my head so many times, but I ask myself the stupid question. I'm like, if you had to call one person straight away right now, who would you call? And I'm sort of stunned a little bit and think, fuck, my immediate reaction to that is I don't have a best mate. Yeah, and then that drives me mental. But the reality is I could call 6 or 7 different people and every single one of them would pick up, and every single one of them would care the same, just as much as the last person. And it's just working through all of that and making sure that, especially in the industry that we work in, you're always going to have someone that doesn't like what you're doing, but it's eliminating that one person and then thinking about the other 9 people that love what you're doing. I feel like the last couple of years I've been obviously sort of battling back and forth with it, but I always try to put a smile on my face. But when I am feeling shit, I need to make sure that I am talking to someone about, and I feel like I'm on the right path of getting heaps better at that.
Good, mate. I'm glad to hear it. Like when you are starting to have those negative thoughts about whatever it may be, are you aware of it in the moment where you're like, oh, it's happening? Like I'm in a really shit mood, or I'm feeling depressed, or does it sort of creep up on you, and all of a sudden it's been a couple of days where you haven't got up to much, and you're laying in bed, and you're like, oh fuck, what am I doing?
It's a bit of both actually, because there are times where I think like straight away it can sort of all happen, and like they might be the easy ones to sort of snap out of it, but once it happens over a few days and it sort of snowballs up, and then you're sitting on the couch and you're thinking, fuck, like what have I done the last couple of days? Like what am I doing at the moment? Like this is like I've just wasted so much time, so much of like my life just sitting here doing nothing. And then I feel like I try not to sort of push that negative energy onto too many people, or just people in general. So I sort of go and isolate myself a little bit, which isn't what I should be doing. But
so many people do it, man.
Yeah,
so many people.
I feel like at that time it's only right to like isolate myself and make sure that everyone else is safe in that regard.
Yeah, for sure, man. When you were 10 years old and you lost your old man, were you able to process and understand what had happened, or were you sheltered from it?
Well, I wasn't sheltered from it. No, Mum came clean pretty early on that Dad had depression. Well, after he'd passed, she said that Dad had depression, and this was one of the consequences for him not speaking up and keeping it from us for so long. And I can sort of pinpoint the time where I was outside, came in and saw both my parents crying, and I was very weird, because my old man, like for as long as I'd known him, unless someone had died, unless something very tragic happened, he wasn't much of a crier. So when I saw that happen, I thought, oh shit, like what's going on here? But I was sort of like sheltered from that sort of situation. But as I grew older and sort of learnt a bit more about depression and suicide, and how people try to cope with it, I see that was the first sign of it as a kid. And like I look back and like I could tell my younger self, like this is what is going to happen. But I don't think anything could protect or shelter the 10-year-old me of what I saw, and then the consequences from that.
As you get older, you get more life experience. You start to understand the world a bit more. Does it become, I'm not sure if easy is the right word, but do you begin to understand what's happening more, and the acceptance and the understanding becomes easier, or is it still as difficult as when you were 10 years old to wrap your head around what had happened?
Well, I feel like at the time when I was a kid, because I got so much support straight away from friends, family, my sporting clubs that I was a part of, my school as well, like I was sort of, in that regard, I was pretty sheltered from it. And then as I grew older, I was in a cohort of about 400 kids, so I felt like there was never enough time for just young Will Taylor, one student out of the whole 400, to get the support or get the help he needed in that regard. I think I started to ask a few more questions, to Mum and everything through that, and started to talk a bit more to other people. I feel like as a young kid, it was really I was really oblivious to it all.
Can't imagine how hard it would have been, mate. And it's a sad reality that, it happens. It really does. We've all been impacted by knowing someone who has taken their own life, or, my old man has had depression himself. It's something that's so relevant. And it's because of like, you know, what you're doing now, where you're putting yourself out there, you're talking about it, you're being vulnerable about it. And, you know, like the article Marnie Vinyl wrote up about you and how you're so open to speak about it. It just makes it easier. And I think as we get older, you'll see less and less people succumbing to the absolute worst case scenario of it all because of what you're doing.
Appreciate it. Well, yeah, I hope that like I think I said in the article as well, if I can help one person from that article going out, like I feel like I've done my job.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Awesome, man. You must be proud of all that.
Yeah, I'm absolutely stoked with like the work that I've done. And like I don't enjoy like pumping up my tires for like the stuff that I do, but the most proud work I am is like my work with the mental health side of the community and like going back and teaching people all that.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I thought you were going to say the thing that you've been most proud of is your forward pocket work in the Div 12 Ressies.
Jeez, well, if if I could convert a few more goals, I would definitely be a lot more proud. But yeah, geez, it's hard to go past Monash 5 goals.
Yeah.
100 ranking points felt really good that week.
All right, yeah, talking about that, while we've been sitting here, I've been crunching some numbers. So, Will Taylor has played 8 games of football this year.
Shit.
In the first game back, you played a game and then you got
played a game, then I hurt my ankle.
Okay, so he came back. 105 ranking points.
Is that the 8-goal game? Oh, the 5-goal game?
5 goals won.
5 goals won.
He's played 7 other games for the year.
Oh, I feel like you're about to say a bad
How
news.
many ranking points has he collected over those 7 other games?
Right, well, how much was the big one?
105.
And since then?
So, including the first game before injury
Yeah.
and the 6 after that, how many ranking points has he accumulated?
All right.
I'm going to say 72.
72. You don't reckon you've cracked the ton in those 6?
No way. I know in the first game I had a little bit of the footy. I kicked a goal.
Yeah.
Kicked one into the man on the mark. And then all the other games I've been sort of nowhere to be seen.
Well, I'm going to give you a bit more credit than 72. I'm going to go Ashton Agar 99.
99.
Well, the actual answer is 133.
Oh, thank God.
gee whiz.
So you were so... I would have wanted to crack the ton, but you were so confident that you didn't.
I was just like, fuck, there's a lot of games where I just haven't got anywhere near it.
Well, I can tell you that. The second,
You know what? You don't have to. No.
the second best performance was 7 disposals, 2 goals, 37 ranking points. And then I believe it was this week, his worst performance of the year, 1 disposal, 1 tackle, 6 ranking points.
Yeah, well, that swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, it does. You can't win them all.
I forgot I actually kicked those 2 goals as well, which is weird to say because I took a great one-handed mark, but yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. Clear as day. Yeah, but, you know, I was saying this to Dos earlier because I think Kados has been a little bit disappointed with some of the output in his games.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, it doesn't matter if you have the shittest season of all time. Not that he has, but it doesn't matter. So long as you stand up when it matters in September, or in our case, August.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm backing you in for a big final series. You know, how are you feeling about finals upcoming, and do you think that maybe you've saved your best for last?
I'm excited. I feel like as a junior footballer, I came alive in the back end of the year. I was pretty lucky enough to play in a lot of finals football. To win grand finals was a little bit harder. I think I've lost. I think I'm even. I think I'm 2-2.
You'll take 2 and 2, I reckon. As long as you've won one, you almost take it.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I feel like as I got older throughout my junior footballing career, yeah, I found finals football so much easier to play. Yeah. Because when it comes to like nerves on the sporting field, I don't get them.
Really?
Yeah, like I could be more nervous about a first date with a girl.
Oh, well, everyone, yeah. Let's say no more. I'm more nervous about that than a gun to my head.
Yeah. But like when it comes to footy, like, yeah, I'm really not that nervous. And I think it's because I'm so blasé with like how I approach the start of a game, because I don't want to get myself nervous. Like I keep I keep myself really calm, everything really tame, just to make sure that like I can go out and then just get straight into it.
Yeah, it's a good way of going about it. I wouldn't say that before a game I get nervous. I think I used to get a bit more nervous when I used to be like a bottom six player. Like all my career at the Banyule Footy Club, I was pretty reliably a bottom six player, and I was nervous about fucking it up. Like I was like, you know, I don't want to be the one to.
If you're a bottom six player, I'd love to fucking see the Banyule Bears. That must be flying.
Well, I swear I used to my whole life. I was a back pocket or back flank. And, you know, I had no confidence. Like, I didn't want the footy in my hands because I thought I'd fuck it up. But I loved playing footy. And very quickly, my old man taught me, you know, even if you don't get the pill, you can get the respect of your teammates by putting your head over the footy.
Yeah.
So I made my brand. I'm the back flanker where I'm happy to not touch the ball as long as my man doesn't touch it. And if it's in my area, I just go for the footy, right? So
yeah,
that was my brand. But then when I went to the Wattle Park Animals, Div 12, started fucking getting my hands on the footy, and it's like you're playing a different sport. You know what I mean? I went from defending a man the whole time to actually, you know, selling candy, ducking and weaving. I went, oh, now I'm actually fucking playing footy up in here. It's great.
It's funny you say that because like I don't get much of the footy now, but believe it or not, when I played country reserves, I got less of the ball. But my full forward when I was playing country footy was someone of like a tallish stature. The key forward we have now is shorter than me, and it's young Cater McDonald. Yeah. So it's always really funny to think about it that way. But I think there's one person that I don't really care what they do with the footy in the team because I sort of know they're going to make the right decision, and I've always said it's you.
Oh, appreciate that, Wilbur.
I remember yelling out to you. You turned in traffic, and I was sort of like, oh, what the fuck? Like he's going to get tackled, and you turned in traffic, and you've either kicked a goal or you've set someone up and got. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. From now on, I don't care what he does.
Gee, that's good.
He's got
Clip that one up, Daniel. Clip that one up.
He's got my full license.
Yeah. I've thought to it because I have had by my standards a good season. You know, in the midfield, getting my hands on the ball, and I'm there going, was I just a 27-year-old? Like, is a division that poor a standard where a back pocket in Banyule sort of reserves sort of Division 1, but in the twos, a back pocket can be a gun midfielder? Or if I come of age, and not that I'm going to go back to Banyule, but if I went back, could I be a handy player in the twos? I don't know.
I reckon you could. I reckon there's, not to say that, well, I don't think our league is as bad as we think it is. Like, we drum it up like Division 5, thirds footy. Like
I agree with that. I've had mates, you know, Brandon, Dedes, Cordy, who have all played great. Some of them played senior footy, played great levels of captain twos teams in great divisions. And it's not like they're coming down in their Nick Dacos. Yeah. You know, they're going well, but they're not Nick Dacos. So it's not as bad as what people think.
Yeah, and I feel like if, obviously, the one person that's come down, Dale Thomas, like he can go because he's played.
I think that's a bit of a different kettle of fish than Rogie from the Banyule Twos, Daisy from the Magpies and the Blues.
He's at the elite level, but like other people that we've brought in, they've never like gone out and blown the stats out of the water in complete like in their regard. So I think like our competition is still quite.
It's competitive.
Yeah, quite competitive.
You've got 18 or 36 if you've got two teams, which usually you do. Yeah. 36 players out on the footy field all wanting the footy. So, you know, you've got to beat them to it. Do you ever think, have you stopped and taken a second to think, we're in the bottom division of football you can possibly play, the 5th division of the thirds. We're out there we're paying blokes, we're paying Daniel to come down and film it. We're chopping up our highlights. We're putting them online. You know, we've got premier data to count our stats. Do you ever stop and think, what the hell are we actually doing here?
I actually had a really good chat with Aidan Core about this once.
Really?
The fullback from North Melbourne. I was doing a gig for Mazda, and he was he came down as a part of the North Melbourne crew, and we were just chatting away, and he's like, "Oh mate, I love what you boys do. Like it's you're getting eyes on local footy, and like you're chopping up your highlights. It's funny as," and I'm like, yeah, it's cool because I feel like it brings the relatability to AFL and like to have someone at the elite level understand what it's like at quite literally the bottom level. It brings that relatability and it brings the humour
Big time.
to the whole thing. And I'm like, yeah, mate, I'm just trying to do what you're doing in the Magoos.
You know what my favourite story of the Div 12 Ressies journey has been so far?
Tell me.
It's the story of Junior.
The young whippersnapper Junior.
Junior, where's Junior from? Is he Indian?
Indian. It was just on res at Deakin Uni looking for something to do during the winter, and he picked up footy.
The story as I know, and I could be butchering it or putting a healthy amount of mayo on the story, but he was just kicking a footy down at the park without knowing that training was about to resume, or maybe someone walked by and saw him or whatever, and invited him to come down to training. And as you can imagine, you've never played football in your life before. You're down there just wanting to kick a footy around, and you get invited to come train with an actual team. It might be quite a daunting existence.
Yeah.
But then you go down and everyone embraces you, and not just embraces Junior, turn him into a cult figure. Not because it's a tokenistic, we'll make this foreign guy the most popular guy on the team. It's because he has a crack unlike you've ever seen before.
The first game we got to play as a full team, I couldn't credit him any better for he's going back with the flight, and quite literally he was running. I remember this like it was yesterday. He was running back. There was their key forward coming back from Alstonwick, big boy, and Junior is looking at nothing but the ball, and he's running back, and spoils it perfectly over the forward's head out for a boundary throw, and had 5 spoils by half time.
He's fearless.
His naivety to the game just meant that he could just go in full ball, and I'm still waiting for the day where he pulls out of a contest.
He never will. I think it's one of those things where some people are born with the DNA strand where they're terrified of contact, and some people don't fear it, and Junior just does not fear it.
McCabe.
Bam McCabe, Katie McDonald.
Do you see?
Caden McDonald's a great footballer, and he's the best footballer I've ever seen, actually.
Is that because he's your employer?
Is he paying you?
Nah, we love our Junior. We do love our Junior. And what made it even more heartwarming is not long ago, actually, only a couple of weeks ago, someone sent in the group chat saying, hey, lads, there's this guy coming down. I met him. He wants to try the game out. Make him welcome. And Junior sends in a message going, hey, guys, I know what it was like when I was new and I was, scared, and the way everyone got around me made me so comfortable, and it's a great decision that I made, so please do make them feel comfortable. And I'm like, that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
that is
exactly
what
right.
Local footy is all about.
Yeah,
community.
It's awesome. And the funniest part about Junior is he rocked up to pre-season in some pretty slick brand new footy boots, but they're like F1 branded football boots.
Really? I didn't know that was. I didn't know.
I have no idea
F1?
how he got his hands on them, but they're like Puma Kings with like the F1 logo on it or something.
Holy shit!
And it's it bamboozled me, and credit to Junior. He can do whatever he wants.
Oh, he can, absolutely. Where do you think the mighty Wattle Park Animals, the Div 12 Ressies are at? We've got one more game before finals. We won 7 on a trot, and then we've just somehow managed to drop 2 on the trot. Not just drop them, we've been smashed both times.
Yeah.
Is this the necessary lull before we elevate ourselves back to the lofty heights of a winning streak, or are we fucked?
To be honest, I always knew we needed a loss to sort of reset the nerves. Didn't know it had to be 2 losses with a combined loss of 150 points.
That took me by surprise as well.
Yeah. I think if we can just sort of get our heads back together and just put in our old-fashioned performances that we've been doing, play our brand of footy that we had been playing the last 7 games that we won, I don't see why we can't win it all.
Yeah.
We've beat the top team, and that's all you have to do on grand final day.
I keep having the vision of us winning the flag. I see it so clearly. I really believe it's going to happen. We haven't had our best side in the last couple of weeks, but I'm just so excited. I've said this before. I think I had Bailey on. I'm so excited for the moments. I think that's what finals are all about. It's the moments that you remember. So I don't know whether it's going to be there's a minute left on the clock and Junior runs back with the flight and gets a big fist on it, or Doss kicks a dribbler from the boundary to clinch the win, whatever it might be. But I'm just so excited. Who do you reckon is going to have the biggest moment of final? And don't say me just because I'm sitting here.
Well, I feel like you're just going to have the most consistent game ever. Like, you could go out there and probably just, and not to pump up his tyres here, Dan, but I feel like you could come away with the bog.
Oh, I would
The bog medal.
You know, because Cam Muratore, in my opinion, who's leading the best and fairest, him and I have a bet each week on who gets the most ranking points has to get lunch shouted by the loser. So if I was to collect the best on ground medal and Cam shouts me a grand final lunch, I'd be stoked with that.
Yeah, I think the only way he can pip it is if he converts those 3 or 4 behinds.
So there's no chance he pips it.
Yeah, no chance.
The man can't keep.
Who has the
biggest moment?
I think the biggest moment's got to come from like just a real battler who puts in every week, and I reckon it could be Roaming Has.
Oh yes, great pick.
It could be Roaming Has.
Great pick, Roaming Has.
He's got he's wearing my tan boots at the moment because my ankles couldn't hold up in them no longer.
It's crazy for me to think you and him wear the same size shoe.
Yeah, it is. It is beyond me that he actually fits straight into my shoe.
Cinderella.
Yeah.
Could I say as well, I'm sitting here trying to think. And not just because you're on the podcast, but I genuinely think Tails
has a big moment in him.
Like, because his set shot is so good.
It is dead
If
idea.
the game is down to the wire, I can see the ball in Tails' hand.
You know what I think your biggest strength will be?
Yeah, tell me.
Finals, right? It's hectic. Everyone's like, the desperation goes up from, if in the Div 12 Ressies context, it's volume 2 or 3 during the year.
Yeah.
Finals, the volume of intensity goes up to about a 15.
Yeah.
Everyone's running all over this shop. Now, Tails, despite the fact that you are the face for the run in Geelong, what's it called, sorry?
Run for Geelong.
Run in for, oh, so close. Oh, agonisingly close. Despite the fact that you are the face of Run for Geelong, it's fair to say if we had, the kilometres counter on each of us, you're probably not blowing up the most kilometres per game.
No way.
But in finals, when everyone's hectic, the backmen want to get their hands on the ball. When you just stay deep, I feel you could get a heap of space out the back. And, I'm running inside forward 50. There's frantic stuff going everywhere. But there's Tails out the back just for a nice little chest mark out the back and the conversion.
Oh, now you boys have got my hair standing up a little bit because I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen like almost in a couple games where like Jarrah and Baz I've just been hanging right out the back and like they've nearly hit me on the tits. Or when we played in Ajax, like I had acres and acres of space all to myself, and I said to Rogie, just put it out there.
Yeah.
And I was just so nearly there to wrap it up, but I feel like. Yeah, come finals time, like, it doesn't matter how.
All you need is one moment.
One moment.
That's all we need.
And that's what everyone will remember.
Well, my first memory of Tails playing footy was pre-season last year, kicking a Dom sheet from the boundary. Wasn't the exact same spot, but over time, that's how I remember it.
It wasn't the exact same spot, but it was 100,000 people at the G against
Yeah, it wasn't the same spot, but it was Aquinas against the twos on a 32-degree day.
Yeah. Aside from the fact it wasn't the exact same spot, it was pretty much the exact same thing.
I like your thinking though, Dan. It was close.
Yeah. Well, I'm fucking excited. Div 12 Rees. I hope we win the flag. But before I set you on your way to go be the face for Run for Geelong, you may notice behind me there's a ledge.
Yes. The Ledge of Legends.
The Ledge of Legends. And there we've got Tricky Mac, the Australian cult hero rapper's CD burner, of which he burned his first 1,000 CDs.
Beautiful.
Bailey McCabe, your housemate.
Yeah.
And
he gave you 2 presents.
He gave me 2.
Very generous of Baz.
A cricket ball. Well, let's call one present because the other one he stole from Lord's Cricket Ground, which is a cricket ball. And it's a picture of his family whitewater rafting.
Yeah.
The Ledge of Legends, next edition, so we can remember Will forever as a member, a founding father of the Rog Pod. What have you brought in for us to remember you by?
Now, hear me out. There's a bit more of a story to just this, but I have a mini NFL football. Now, we've got, and I'm not just giving you one because we need to get rid of it, but we've got 4 of these in the house.
It's just a tip now.
No, but these sit on. We've got at least one or two that sit on the couch each week, and I feel like Bailey and I just do our like jargon chats while we're just throwing this around, passing it around to each other. When we have people over, I feel like I've been throwing it with you once or twice when you come over, and we're just watching the footy, and like it's the small moments like this, like with the mates that I have. It just like it's something, I don't know, it's something special to me. Just like throwing the ball, the fact that like two blokes can go throw a ball around and say nothing for like 2 hours.
What more do you need?
Yeah, it's just like it just like to think about it that way is like it amuses me so much. So I think this is like a symbol of friendship and just the brotherhood that we've sort of created. So,
mate, that's the most lovely story I've ever heard to get rid of your trash. Really, it's an unbelievable alibi.
Really had to drum up a story, didn't I?
I see straight through you, Taylor. And next you'll be bringing in your old jocks you've had for 6 years. No, I really appreciate it, mate. I'll put it up now. Let's have a look. Oh, bang, there you go.
It's really starting to look like a sports bar show, but I love it.
It is, absolutely. And I couldn't have been any more stoked to have you on, Will. You're a dear friend of mine. Love what you're doing. I can't believe how much you've grown from when, I first met you. And as for this episode, you've been more vulnerable than, anyone I've spoken to. I couldn't appreciate that anymore because I know it's not easy. But you've opening up the way that you have makes it easier for the next person. So thanks, mate. I fucking love you and I can't wait to see where you're heading.
Appreciate it, Roger. Fucking love you too, mate.